Yes, guys. So, welcome to the Natural Selection podcast, and we're going to dive straight in with the first topic. Deej, what did you have in mind?
So I was watching some. I can't remember. I think it was Josh. I'm gonna Croggan on
Mm.
Instagram the other day, and he was having a discussion with his training partner about the importance of genetics when it comes to natural bodybuilding. And I thought it was a really interesting subject, just because I think people can use it on both ends of the spectrum. Either they think that because they've got amazing genetics, they can get away with doing XYZ, or they use it as an excuse to never start or never compete because, like, oh, I don't have good genetics.
Mm.
And I think ultimately, like, genetics are one of those things that you can't really control. You can't really control. So I think it's an interesting discussion to kind of have in terms of what level genetics comes into like natural bodybuilding, like, and like I think the role it has at almost like the different levels.
Yeah, I think it's a great question. I've definitely got my opinion on it, but Patrick, I'll let you start.
I think like it's okay, so I see in like basically two different levels. I feel like for general bodybuilding and just kind of like just physique building, it doesn't matter because hard work would always be like will always triumph over genetics. If you're working hard, you can always be someone with good genetics. It doesn't matter how good genetics are. If it's on like basic level or like the beginning of bodybuilding, right? But once you get to the elite level, I think that's when it starts to play a big role because like stuff like the muscle insertions, stuff like waist, like you're having a small waist, having like a certain look, a symmetrical look, will always work in someone with those genetics, which you cannot like. If I've got a big waist and I'm going against someone with a smaller waist, we might be have the same muscle level genetically. The guy with the smaller waist will look the part. Do you know what I mean? So I think when it comes to like elite level, it definitely plays a big role and it matters. But then it like then again, if the person with the genetics is not working hard enough and just relying on your genetics to win, then it doesn't really work. It won't work in their favor. But if they're both on the same level playing field where they're all both working as hard, then yeah, it will always favor the guy with the good genetics.
Yeah, I think we're probably all going to be in similar agreement. I think the last few years, my head has gone even more the way of realizing how important it is, to be honest, which I hate to say. Like, I absolutely hate to say it. I'd rather be like it's an even playing field, but only when you get to a certain point. Like, everyone could get in shape, everyone could build muscle, everyone can lose body fat, everyone can look good. So, don't be like, oh, I haven't got good genetics for this and that. But when it comes to, competing and going to the next level, unfortunately, it plays a huge role in so many different factors. And I've noticed it more the more I've got in the industry, and the more you see people and what they can achieve and how. And it goes for more than just like the way the physique looks. It's like, so many different things. It can just be like appetite and like digestive health. I mean, obviously, some level of that is, what you're actually doing. But sometimes, some people just don't have as good gut health, or they've had issues, or have their IBS and stuff like that. You could even be like that. Some people's just the amount of muscle that they were already had before they even did anything. You look at them in school and they didn't do anything, and they already had a six pack, abs, shoulders, arms. And as soon as they start training, they blow up. They respond quick. Um, yeah, I think it shouldn't stop you from getting into it, but unfortunately, when you do start competing and you want to start going up the ranks, it plays a absolutely massive role. And you could either let that kind of consume you, or you can actually, just be your best. Like, that's one thing you can't control is your genetics. It doesn't really matter. You just do what you need to do to be your best, and that's it. Why focus on anything you can't control? It's like worrying about the other competitors, like just wasted energy, right?
So, what are your guys' opinions on like the genetic ceiling in terms of like progress? So, I know this was a big thing
Yeah.
it seems to almost be being debunked at the moment because you're seeing guys that literally have natural bodybuilded for like I'm trying to think like the 3D MJ guys. They've been natural bodybuilding for like 15, 20, 25 years. And was it Jeff or one of them that basically competed this year? He's taken like a 5 year break, but he's in his mid 40s and has still managed to make improvements like on his
Yeah.
look. So I think on the natural side, there's a lot higher of a ceiling than people were giving people credit for, and the people are almost using it as an excuse to jump assisted because they're like, "Oh, I've reached my genetic potential. Now I'm going to go assisted." And these guys are in like their mid 20s, and it's like you 100%,
Yeah.
unless you have literally been living a bodybuilding lifestyle since you were about 12, there is no way you have reached your genetic potential at like 25. So yeah, what are
100%.
your guys' thoughts on that?
Yeah, I 100% agree with you with that. I think like you have to see it in the way of your genetics is like how tall a building is, for example, and your work ethic is how or like the effort you put in is how many floors you're willing to climb to get to the top. And I think so many people are so quick to go assisted because they think they've hit a potential or like they haven't got the patience to wait to get to the top. So I think it's just part of like the whole mentality of the generation now, where everyone just wants the glory, everyone wants to get to the top, but they're not willing to put the time and effort it takes to get there. And that's what we're seeing now, like across the board with people jumping on gear so early, or like thinking they've reached a natural potential of what they've not. Like literally, some of the best natural bodybuilders are like in the late 40s, mid 40s. So I mean, so there's still so much room to grow. So for a 25-year-old to be like, yeah, I'm gonna jump on that, go on gear now because I've reached my natural potential, it's just ridiculous. It's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
I completely agree. I don't really believe in it at all, to be honest. I think, your body does just keep adapting. It just gets to a point where it's so slow that,
Mhm.
you have to be so perfect with things and you get very little from it. And I think what people mean by their genetic potential is you get to the point where the reward they're getting from the work doesn't feel worth it anymore. Like it almost should be a change in frame of wording or whatever. But yeah, maybe I don't know. It depends for everyone, right? But maybe after 5 years, those dramatic increases that you can make, they do slow down. And if that's what you want to call your genetic potential, sure. But you know, as long as you keep causing, a stimulus for your body to adapt, it will just keep adapting as long as you're recovering. Obviously you will get to a point as you do get to a certain age where maybe you are going to be fighting with other things a little bit now, with your testosterone coming down, your recovery in general. But yeah, I think I don't really necessarily believe necessarily in um, a yeah, like a limit
There's
to be
no
honest.
like
Like
I kind of see I agree with you because I feel like there isn't like a set limit of like, oh, that's your potential and that's you can't that's your genetics and you can't go any further than that. Like as humans, we're constantly evolving, and how you're training is gonna adapt. It's gonna change your physique. What you're
yeah,
eating, what the like, basically your environment is gonna change your genetics. So your genetic is not like it's never like a set stone. Like there's always way to improve it. And even if you think like this is the ceiling for your genetics, there's still more to give. If
it's
that makes
only the
sense.
feeling of what you've seen other people do. It's like
Yes, yeah,
like the 1 minute, what not the 1 minute, well, whatever it is, where they ran a certain distance and
The
a
six
certain
yeah,
minute
time,
mile.
and then out of nowhere, loads of people were doing it.
yeah,
Well, it's like the
exactly.
500 kilo deadlift, isn't it? Like
Yeah,
when Eddie Hall like set that. Before
Yeah,
that, the maximum weight somebody done was
yeah,
like 470,
mm,
and he was like, "I'm gonna blow that out of the water. I'm gonna get 500." And now that he's hit 500, you've
quite a
got
few
people that
people.
are
Yeah,
adding like one,
I-
adding
yeah,
yeah. I literally saw
like
some guy
yeah,
doing like 500 for like reps yesterday on like my Instagram feed. I was like, bro, this is just like the norm now. Whereas
yeah,
yeah.
before it was like only one person doing it. So yeah, that's fucking crazy.
yeah. Like 100%. I think what limits you is injuries, life. But
Yeah,
if you had the perfect routine, the perfect training plan and blah blah blah, then you are just going to keep progressing. It's just going to be at a rate probably that you're just not that happy with. But even I look at the progress I've made this 2 years though, and it's been fucking significant. And I'm 14, 15 years deep into weight training now.
Yeah.
So like, if I make this progress for the next 20 years, then fucking hell, like I nowhere near my genetic potential. I remember people 5 years telling me no words. Like it's not. There's always another level. There's always something. I think it just gets to a point where you're unhappy with the progress you're making naturally, and at that point, if you want to call that
Yeah.
your genetic potential, then fine. But it's not. It's just, where you're happy to kind of not put any more in to get like very little progress kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think your two opinions are very kind of like similar to mine, like when it comes to like genetics. But so like for me, I know that especially at like an amateur level, like genetics aren't as important in
No,
terms
definitely not.
of it's generally going to be the person that comes in that's kind of got the best condition, has worked on their posing, has put all their ducks in a row so that they present something presentable on stage at a regional level.
Mm.
And then it's each time you take a step up that ladder, you're going against other people that have also done that work. Like
Yeah.
when you get up to like British finals, international shows, like and pro,
Yeah.
you can't get to that level without working hard. Like
Yeah.
some people, yeah, they're going to be absolute genetic freaks and they might not work as hard as you, but they still have to work hard. Like
Yeah.
they've still got to diet, they've still got to train, they've still got to put all these things. And then when you're like at that pro level, it's going to be these very small, minute differences that could come down to your genetics. So, like Patrick was saying, it could be your structure. Like, have you got wide shoulders and a narrow waist? Have you naturally got good insertions? When you lose body fat, there's some people that I've seen on stage that are absolutely peeled from the front, and then they
Yeah.
turn around and they've got soft glutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you've got other people that are absolutely peeled on their glutes, but then they turn around and their quads aren't even separated. And it's
Yeah.
like just those little things. Like if they were at a regional show, like they would absolutely wipe the floor. But it's like as you take those kind of steps up in
Yeah, to
terms
the
of
top
the
level,
level
yes.
of competition,
Yeah.
that's where genetics kind of come into play. And it also winds me up when people are like pro level natural bodybuilders and like, oh, I've got bad genetics. It's like you don't have bad genetics. If you are a pro level natural or assisted bodybuilder, you don't have bad genetics. You might
No.
not have amazing genetics, but you don't have bad genetics, or else you wouldn't be able to turn pro. Like, because there's so when you're sort of kind of getting to that level, it is those people that are they're not even genetic outliers, but you can't have poor genetics and turn pro. Like you've not got somebody with narrow clavicles and a wide waist like turning up to a pro stage.
I
Yeah.
think one of the things you said as well is like, say like men's physique, you get these guys, and there's quite a lot of them that like they get fucking peeled from the top. Like their abs are just great. They come in, the back comes in a little bit lower, but like some of these guys look amazing top half, and their legs are like not even separated in the slightest.
Yeah.
But they fit perfect for the men's physique vision because they don't have to dig as hard, and they can probably keep a little bit more of that size in that upper body. They don't have to dig. Whereas some people are the opposite. Like I am literally the polar opposite. Like my legs are always lean, and like 10 weeks out they're done. But like my top half is what comes out like after, and like
My,
My lower
Mine is
back.
never like that, mate. I'm like the opposite. Like I'll be 6 weeks out and my upper body will be ready to go. My legs nowhere near. My legs will still look about 12 weeks out.
But I'd rather be that guy. Like I'd rather be able to go to the beach with a six pack. But no, I've just got like lean legs even when I'm fat. Like, up
My
top.
glutes are
I do have
peeled, but I can
striation. I
still
will
got
never
a
lose striations in my legs ever. They're always there.
That's crazy. That's mad.
Like
Yeah,
literally, my legs.
I wish I had that, mate.
You say that,
I wouldn't
I don't
stress
know.
so much, man.
I'm like sitting here with a fat gut, and then look at my legs, and it's like they're still vascular and stuff. It's like right, okay,
What?
makes sense, doesn't it? It's bullshit. I'd rather
Bro, I
be
think,
that vain guy who just has a six pack, but no.
bro, I literally managed just about got some kind of blue lines coming for Worlds, and like 3 days later they disappeared. Like literally, that's how quick mine goes, bro. It's like,
I
oh,
think that is the
awful,
last
man.
thing for most people, though, innit? Really, like that's not always, but main universal thing is like the glutes, the last one, right?
But for me, it's my
Yeah,
lower back.
Is
Like my
it
glutes will be in, and I've still got like little love handles on my
really?
like lower
it's like
back. So
Crazy,
like my Christmas tree is almost like the last thing to come in.
really.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's really
that got
interesting.
me thinking actually. So with that being said, what are the signs of like that people need to look out for if they feel like they're hitting their genetic potential?
There isn't such thing, in my opinion.
Yeah, but so there's like fair enough. I mean, like
I
how
think
when would
it's
someone? Because people are gonna want to know this. Like, oh, I want to start thinking about this. Like, when does someone decide? Like, when is the right time for someone to decide to go assisted?
I don't know if that's right for any of us to answer because we're all natural.
Yeah, yeah,
I
true.
think it's one of those things in terms of like the choice of going assisted. The number one question is, do you want to be an IFBB professional bodybuilder? If the answer is no, then don't go assisted.
Yeah,
Because
that's a very good question.
every assisted person I've spoken to,
Regress it.
when they are in their 40s and have now come out of the bodybuilding world, regret it. Because you can do everything perfectly, but you're probably going to be shaving a few years off the back end of your life because it's not healthy to be 250, 260, up to 300 pounds in body weight. Whether that body weight is muscle or it is fat, it is
Yeah,
not like our organs are designed to handle a body mass of obviously depending on your height, somewhere between like 80 and 110 kilos. So if you're double that weight, you've still got the same size heart, the same size liver, the same size kidneys. All your organs are the exact same size.
unless
But
you're running growth hormone.
I was about to say, unless you're
yeah,
on
that's
growth,
that's
then
a,
And
different
a
to
story.
be
grey
fair,
area.
obviously the heart does get bigger, don't it? But that is one of the
Yeah.
problems.
And that's just it. It's like your organs are still going to be
Yeah. They're only
trying to,
made for a
like,
certain amount of demand, right? And then if
yes.
they're, but even when it comes to like even for natural bodies to some degree, like if you're force feeding 6,000 to 7,000 calories year round, like your body's working overtime, you know.
Yeah.
Like so yeah, I think it definitely goes both ways. I think obviously natural bodybuilding is a lot healthier, but bouncing out of preps all the time, is definitely not the best thing um, either. So I think for me, if someone was talking about going assisted, I think the number one thing is really sitting there and thinking about what actually makes you happy in this process. Because for me, it's actually doing the process. It's not having bigger muscles. So I know that sounds weird, but like bigger muscles isn't going to solve anything. I do this process because I enjoy it and I just like doing it. So if you're almost just skipping forward a few levels and you get all this other shit that comes from it now, like another cost, worry about this bit of your health or that bit of your health or this and that. Is that actually going to make it better? No, for me, like it's just going to make it fucking worse because I've got more things to worry about now. Like,
And
does that
there's
make
always
sense?
that next best thing as well. So, like, peptides are massive at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's like you're always, as you said, you're adding another variable in, another layer of complexity. Like, think about like for us when for example, when we're
simple in it.
peaking for a
Simple.
show,
Yeah,
it's you manipulate carbs, maybe a
yeah,
little bit of water manipulation, and
yeah,
reduce fatigue.
100%.
Suddenly,
It's so
you've now
easy.
got to add
Natural bodybuilding is
in,
so easy.
yeah,
Like even
but
in the
for
off
an
season, really, it's like less expenditure, more food, slightly change your training. Like it's a few things to change, right? Whereas if you go assisted, I don't know about you guys, but I went assisted. If that geezer's using this, and that, I'm like, fuck, I need to. And before you
Yeah,
yeah,
know
yeah,
it,
that's literally how it would be
you're
like.
running a massive stack, and you're like, what are you
Yeah.
fucking doing?
yeah,
I also I think people like, I think people kind of like, there's too much hype about the whole IV Pro situation. I think that's what people don't understand. Like, there's a lot more. You are essentially just a number, and you're just like basically paying into the federation to make the money. unless you're someone that is gonna step on stage with the potential of like placing extremely well, no one's gonna remember you. Oh, sorry, guys.
You gotta
I
go.
think for me, like, I
Yeah,
do
go on.
understand why people go assisted because, you know, you don't, if you go to watch, you know, racing, you go to watch Formula One, right? And it's the same with bodybuilding. People want to do that. Like, if people want to drive, you don't want to drive a Skoda. You want to drive a fucking Ferrari or whatever. I'm not a big car guy, so I do get it. But, like, yeah, I mean, natural bodybuilding is up and coming, but it's not as exciting as the fucking assisted scene, is it? You know, and if that is your thing, then I do get it. But you just need to weigh it up, and actually think about what actually makes you happy. Is bigger muscles actually going to make you more happy, or is it just the process?
Yeah,
Um, and where
and
is
that's
that
all
going
the
to lead
stuff.
you to?
That's what I really want to kind of like bring up because I think so many young people think becoming an IB pro is the source of happiness in
Bro, no one
bodybuilding.
cares. No one actually cares.
No
I
one
don't
actually
mean that in a
cares.
bad
It's like
way.
literally, no one
Like,
cares. And I think that's what people need to establish. Like they just want that. They think, oh, that's once you come out of it, bro, you're gonna have this, you're gonna become this,
status. No,
everyone's gonna love you, blah blah blah. Or it's not. That's not what it's about. It's like I said, it's about the journey, the process of getting there, like the work effort that you're going through. That's what really kind of like lines up your life and makes you
yeah,
enjoy bodybuilding. If you're just
yeah.
doing it for stuff like that, then it's kind of really like you get there and you're like, okay, cool, I'm here now. What's
Still not
next?
going to feel
You know, like,
validated or
yeah,
happy. And I don't mean that in a bad way when I'm saying like no one cares. I just mean it in a way like all of this, even if like athletes in their own sports and that, like no one cares about anything as much as you do. Like, so
yeah,
you have to really want to fucking do it. Don't do it for other people, you
yeah,
know. And unless you're getting some crazy sponsorships and it's going to be a living and that, fine, whatever. But like, other than that, like your big goals to other people, they don't really care. Like, you see people go and get like a car they've been saving for, which is sick, and you're like, mate, that's amazing. Like, it doesn't really bother you though, but for them, that's like the biggest thing in the world, and it just goes to show like you have to do it for you and not for other people, right?
yeah, 100%, 100%. And I think that's what for me, like especially last season, that's what made my season go. I enjoy my season, like because I get a lot of messages from people saying, oh, you're a pro this, you're a pro that, you're a pro that, and I'm like, yes, but it's that was never the goal. I just wanted to enjoy bodybuilding. Getting the pro status and stuff was just like a bonus thing that came along with it. It wasn't my like the incentive. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
for me, I love the whole season because I've got to compete in different federations and do all of this stuff. And the journey, the traveling around, all of that stuff is what kind of made the season for me. It wasn't the pro status or anything like that comes along with it. They just kind of that's just a byproduct of the work that you put in to get to where you are, really.
I think it's that difference between internal and external validation.
Yeah,
So, like you said, it's that external validation is the medals, the trophies, the pro card, the status. Whereas
yeah,
the internal validation is I enjoy this for the process, for the person
yeah,
I'm becoming on this journey. Those external things are nice, but ultimately, how long are you on stage? Five
yeah.
minutes? A day
if
out of a
that.
2-year process.
Unless you're at work,
So,
then you're on stage for half an hour.
yeah,
Don't forget that. They kill your awards.
yeah. So, as a percentage, your time on stage is like 0.01%
Yeah,
Yeah,
of your journey as a
yeah,
bodybuilder. So if you're only in it for that 0.01%, you are going to hate the rest of your life because you're doing all these things that to an average person seem fucking crazy for half an hour of your
yeah,
day on one day over a 2-year period. So I think that's the mindset that I think that a lot of people, you'll see a lot of guys that they only ever do one season because they've gone into it for the wrong reasons.
yeah.
Um, I've got a theory that like bodybuilders, most successful bodybuilders are neurodivergent in some way because we all become pretty obsessive.
Yeah.
We're on the spectrum somewhere because you've
Oh,
got to have
100%.
a screw loose somewhere to choose to do the
100%.
things that we do.
yeah. Yeah, it doesn't really make a lot of sense to be honest. You know, you're gonna when you sit down and tell a normal person I'm suffering, spending loads of money to go on stage with a bunch of other men in a thong, tanned, shaven, to get judged by other men, and this is like the hardest thing I've ever done, and I'm paying to do it.
When you put it that way, it sounds like,
Yeah,
yeah, it sounds not
What is
worth at
actually
all,
wrong
is
with
it?
you?
That is
What is
actually
actually
mad.
wrong with you?
yeah.
But I love
It's
it.
when
I
you've
absolutely love it. I'm like, just fucking
Literally.
it's when clients come into the gym and like when I'm prepping, I tend to grow my beard out because then you
mm,
can't see the cheekbones.
yeah,
But then when I've got a show coming up and I go get my hair
save
and
it.
my beard trimmed, and people are like, "Are you okay?" Like,
You're ill.
they're like, "No, no, it's just
Give me
prep
some
face. Don't
food.
worry
Give me a
about
Kit
it."
Kat.
Yeah, yeah. Here, I brought you some chocolate. Great, I'll be able to eat that in like 6 weeks. Like, thanks for
On that
that.
note, what's the worst things that people have said to you on prep, like that you just didn't need to hear, or some funny stories?
Oh, mate. I think,
So I'll let Pat go.
mate, mine is quite simple. Like, it's when people come up to me and go, "Oh, mate, you're looking bare skinny." I'm like,
Oh, that is the worst.
and I just want to punch them in the face. I'm like, "What do you mean, bro? Don't tell me I look skinny, bro." Because obviously they see your face, because usually you're like all covered up, and like everyone's like covered up in prep. I mean, I hate like
You just
massive
get
baggy
cold,
clothes in
don't you?
gym because
Oh,
I'm
that's the
cold.
worst.
Yeah,
Mate.
so
The
my
worst.
face like comes in, and they see you, and they're like, "Oh, you look like you lost bare weight. Are you okay? Are you like you look bare skinny?" I'm like, well, as soon as I hear that word skinny, I just want to throw hands, man.
That's
I'm
the
like, nah,
worst.
get out of here, bro. You're such the wrong person. Yeah, that's probably the worst I've had.
I
God,
think it
dude.
was the very similar for me. We dropped Willow off because I was going to a show, so I was tanned, and we were dropping Willow off from my sister-in-law's so that we could drive down to the show. And I literally walked in, and my sister-in-law went, "Yeah, you look very skinny, don't you?" And I was like, "Yeah, thanks for that." My wife's like, "Oh no, no, you can't say that to him. You have to say you're looking shredded." And I was like, "No,
Yeah.
that's you because I see you every day. You can't tell me I'm looking skinny." Um, but yeah, you just got to kind of smile and kind of laugh it off when it's family, or like, can I get you some? Do you want some food? Do you want a biscuit? I was like, no, I can't eat it. Like, just give me give me a black
They'll be
coffee
like,
and I'll be
Yeah.
happy. Like, give me some caffeine.
Yeah.
they'll be
Yeah.
like, it's a Mrs. Starving you. She's not feeding you at
Yeah,
home. And
yeah,
that's literally it, isn't
yeah. The
it?
mother-in-law brings like brownies around or something. And it's like, I've told you I can't eat those, and that is just pure temptation now.
Yeah, I think we're all a similar position. Mine was very similar. Mine was like, someone was like, "Oh, what's happened? Have you just stopped training and that?" And I was like, "What?" It was like, "Oh, just if you just not stop going to the gym or something." And then sit there thinking, I'm in the gym. I don't get out of the gym now. Literally, I'm there for cardio. I'm there for training. Like, do like posing and like, I barely leave the gym, and people just think like you're not even going. It's like, fuck.
The curse
But
of the natural bodybuilder, though, isn't it? Like, people
yeah,
can't even tell you
Literally.
train if you're in a t-shirt. Like,
yeah,
I had it where it was a guy literally. He comes in like every day at like 10 o'clock. So I'm normally sat at the desk, like doing work, obviously in my pure gym, like t-shirt and jacket. And then one night he trained in the evening, and I'd had to train in the evening, so I was actually training in a vest. And he kind of like looked me up and down and was like, "You're actually in decent shape, aren't you?" I was like, "Motherfucker, my picture is on that billboard over there with my shirt off. Yes, I am in decent shape. I'm the only mixed race guy in here. Who do you think's on that poster?" Like,
that's fine.
Oh God,
I
no.
remember you guys are saying about being cold and prep as well. Like that's something I know everyone feels it, but some people more than others. That is one of the worst things that I had. Like genuinely, if I was outside my house, I was fucking freezing all the time, and I'm always that guy who's like sweating when no one else is usually. And I was like the polar opposite on prep. It was awful.
No way.
hot water
Like
bottles,
double
mate.
jumpers,
Tucking a
everything.
hot water bottle into your waistband. I mean, you look a bit weird, but at least your core
What when you
stays warm.
trained?
Not when I trained, no. And I was just
Oh,
walk. I would literally be walking around the gym, and I'd
that's
have a hot water bottle tucked into the back of my waistband just to kind of keep a half decent
Keep it warm.
temperature
That's
I
mad.
suppose you
with
guys
a
have done.
jumper on and a jacket.
You guys done summer and winter preps, I suppose.
Yeah, so
Yes,
prep
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
went over the summer and into the
Into
autumn
winter,
slash
yeah.
winter.
I've only done the winter one really. Like, so obviously I started prep January 1st, and then my
Oh,
first
right,
show
yeah.
was like end of May and went on until the end of June. So obviously I was still in prep like in summertime, but like yeah, like I got all the body fat off in the winter months, which was fucking awful.
When you're
It's
doing
freezing.
in the summertime, it's nice. We start off really well,
Yeah,
and obviously as you
yeah,
get into like the main shows in like September and October, that's when it starts getting cold, and then
yeah.
you're probably like at a leaner stage at that point. So I
Mm.
remember,
And you're also dragging ass because you've been
yeah,
dieting for
literally,
25, 30 weeks at that point.
I remember in 2023 when I was getting ready for UKD NBA finals, and like myself, Jack Kingsley, like literally, obviously we was keeping people up there, prep and stuff like that. And every time I'll go online, I'll see his story. And he had like a fat beanie on, and I'll be on my side, I have a fat beanie on, literally all wrapped up, walking to the gym, get my steps in. And I just thought it was so funny that we was literally going through the same thing, but different times and times on. Like it's fucking hilarious, mate. You just get so cold.
Yeah. What other things did you guys like feel more than others or experience on prep? I have one thing I definitely felt was like sitting down was way more uncomfortable. Like where you've obviously got way less body fat on your bum. Like towards the end, just sitting on anything hard was horrible.
Yeah.
You guys must have it so bad because, like, yeah, I think when sitting down is fine. It's mostly when I'm like get on the bike to do like to get up to do my bike to do cardio. That's when I used to get it the worst. But sitting down was usually fine. It wasn't too bad. I started putting like
Coccyx
cushions on
bruising
my
off the yeah.
yeah,
Coccyx
literally
bruising from the bike.
yeah. It's horrible,
I just remember
mate.
sitting on wooden benches and stuff and just been like looking around thinking, how is anyone sitting on this? This is fucking awful. Like, like in like a beer garden, obviously not having a beer, but like you're with
Yeah,
family or something like
yeah,
that, and you're like, you keep like moving about thinking, how is anyone sitting on this thing?
horrible, man.
Yeah,
I
it's
I think
think
brutal.
like go on.
for me, like the food focus, each time that I've prepped, the food focus has got less and less. Like in my
Yeah,
first prep, it was so bad. It was
Yeah,
literally just constantly thinking about all the stuff I couldn't eat. When's my
yeah,
next meal? Like, whereas I think the more that you do it, the more you kind of come to expect those feelings, and it's almost like you look forward to that feeling of hunger. Yes, it does affect your mood and stuff, but you become better at managing it, and you know that, right, okay, I eat my meals at the same time, and your body almost comes to expect it. So I don't know about you guys, but if I ever like was out and I missed a meal, oh, did I know about it? My mood just straight down the toilet. Like I was so grumpy because you haven't got any body fat to be able to. So you're essentially just
yeah,
going to hit a hypo because your blood
yeah,
sugar is going to be really low. You've got no body fat, so you're just
yeah,
like your body's screaming at you for food. Like I don't think until somebody's been like properly lean, they understand that feeling of missing a meal. Like to
yeah,
a normal person, like oh, missing your lunch by a couple of hours is it's not that big a deal. But like when you're on prep and your body fat's already at like 4 or 5%, like you almost don't have the luxury of being able to like move meals around.
yeah, yeah. I think I agree with you. I think like the more the more seasons you have, the easier it gets in terms of the food focus. I think one thing I struggled with the most was post show this time round. Like food focus was a lot higher post show, like
you're
post
on prep for
season.
so long though, weren't you? That's
Yeah,
probably why.
it was probably was so bad. Like when I was in like New York, I was like struggling big time. Like all like obviously there's like food everywhere, and
That's
I'm
a
just
big
like
place.
all I'm thinking about is like pizzas and stuff like that. Like, and
And
I kept on
suddenly the
telling myself I
brakes
don't
are
need it.
off.
Huh?
Yeah. Suddenly the brakes are off. You've
Yeah,
been because when
yeah,
did you start
literally.
your prep? Like March.
So I started prep in May, I believe,
So from May through to like what, December,
through to November. Yeah,
you were like very, very strict.
yeah,
And
and
suddenly you've just had an incredible season. You're now not competing again for what, 18
2
months, two
years. Yeah,
years, and
yeah. And you've got
your
access to all
body
this.
is
There's
just
no one
yeah.
stopping you. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
the brakes were fully off, and I just thought I can eat this if I wanted to, but I like I just kept on thinking about it every time. every time. It was so bad. But I've never
What's
had it as bad as this time.
what's your guys' opinions on people say that post show is harder than prep?
Oh, I agree.
I think mentally,
Yeah,
yes. Um, because when you're in prep, you've got that thing
Yeah, I
that
get it.
you're
I
working
get it. Yeah,
towards. So you've got that destination, you've got that thing that's holding you back, which allows you to say no to right now because there is
yeah,
instant and immediate consequences
yeah,
yeah,
for my goal. Whereas
yeah,
post show, this is why I think it's super important. Number one, athletes do not like get rid of your coach the moment you step off stage. Like, if you do that,
terrible
you are
idea.
setting
Terrible
yourself
idea.
up for a
yeah,
horrendous off season.
yeah.
Um,
Not
the
even that,
second
just
thing
horrendous
is,
health and mental
yeah,
health.
the second thing is set goals for your off season before you've stepped on stage. So have an off ramp. Like, if your coach hasn't spoken to you about the post show period
Mm,
before you've competed, like, you shouldn't be having that conversation like after you've competed because you've probably already binged for 2 days if you haven't
Yeah,
had that conversation.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you should have
don't
a plan
realise
in place,
what it's
whether
actually
you're
like.
going to be reverse dieting, whether it's like, okay, we're going to allow you a degree of flexibility in this first week. So, like, for me, that first week post show, like, my goal was to put on 5 or 6 pounds. Like, we want to put on a decent amount of body fat quite quickly. So you can have, but what I want you to do is I want you to plan those treat meals in that you want. Don't just go off feeling, plan it in ahead of time. So I had like 3 treat meals spread out over the week of foods that I wanted, which then allowed me to come back onto plan because calories were already higher. I then came back onto plan on that second week, and I wasn't craving anything because I'd gone right. These are the things that I want. I've spaced it out over the week, so I'm not having like 15,000 calories in a day. It's right. I'm having a 1,500 calorie cheat meal here, here, and here. Spaced it out, got it out of my system, and then it allowed me to then go back into my plan and then be kind of systematic about it.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. I think you definitely need to be aware of post show and prepare for it. But I think for your first one as well, I think people tell you what it's like. But unless you've ever rebounded yourself, I don't think you really believe people. Like, you're like, you can gain fat really, really quick, right?
oh,
And you're
yeah,
like, all right then, I've just spent fucking 25 weeks losing it. Like, I ain't gonna gain it all back like in a week or two. But you near enough can, and
Yeah. I think
that's
after
I've
my
seen
first
that
show, I put
crazy.
on 14 pounds in a week.
yeah, mate. So many. Obviously, I
Not
was
one.
first timer
But
and novice, right? And so many people I talked to, every single person just fucked it. Like, I pretty much spoke to, um, which is just one of the things. But I think I'm one of the only people that honestly think post show is okay, and I think it just comes down to my personality. Like, for me, prep is fucking hard. Like, I'm one of these guys though. Like, if you give me a bit of balance, sound. Like, you tell me that I can have like a reasonable meal off per week, and I will never need to deviate. But the moment you tell me, right, lock in for 25 weeks, that's fucking hard for me. Like, I'm much more that person to say, listen, now this for the week, and have a little treat on the weekend. I'll be like, sound, I can do that. Like, because I just have that in my mind, if that makes sense. But when it's like a long period of time, I find it hard. I'm like, oh fuck, man, like, this is what am I doing this for? This and that, those voices, which is another good conversation. Like, how do you guys get them, and how do you deal with that? Or like when you're in it, and we just spoke about how no one really cares, right? This is doing it for you. How do you deal with them bitch voices? That um making you think twice about everything.
Um, I think ultimately it's about having a reason that's bigger than yourself. Like, for me, when I chose to compete, it was to be the best version of me for my family. Like, I lost my identity when I stopped playing rugby, and that then made me mentally somebody that I didn't recognize because I didn't have that thing. So
Yeah,
when I decided to like compete, like for me, it's about showing my daughter that I can set a big, hairy, scary goal of being a professional natural bodybuilder. And I have put the work in to do that. And I failed multiple times along that journey. But every single time I've taken a knock back, I've learned from it. I've taken information in from it, taken the feedback and gone and put the work in. And I think that the gym, I don't know about you guys, but the gym is one of the few places that it's a direct correlation between the amount of work I put in and the results I get out. There's very few things in life nowadays, like our parents' generation was told, go to school, work hard, get a good job, have a family, you'll be able to retire when you're 60 and live comfortably. Like, we've gone through what a wars, like pandemics,
Yeah.
like, every single thing that could have gone wrong, like literally one after another, we've kind of like lived through it. And that social contract of go to school, work hard in a job, get a career, you're going to be able to retire, like for a lot of people that contract's been broken. Like, I don't know about you guys, I don't know many. I'm quite lucky with my own personal situation. I don't know many people my age that have got a mortgage, that have got family. Like, they're having to push those things back later and later in life. Like my parents' generation, by the time they were 25, they had a house and a more with a picket fence. They could go on holiday once a year. If the wife wanted to work, she could. If she didn't, she couldn't be a stay-at-home mum. Like, those things aren't available, especially for the ones underneath us. Like, it's going to get even harder for those guys. But the gym is something that, like, it can never be given to you. Like, somebody can be born with money. Somebody can inherit money. Like, even a billionaire can't buy a physique. They still
yeah,
have to put the work in.
yeah. And I think that's a good point in terms of like, I think when you have a physique, it unlocks a lot of doors that other things can't. Like, you walk into a room and you are just respected more, and it can open up opportunities. Like, and a lot of business people talk about us. One of the reasons they get in shape is like, um, it's not something that I personally notice because I'm not a watch guy. But if you're a watch guy, you notice a Rolex, and then if someone has that, business people say that they'd be more open to conversations. And I think the same things for like a physique, because you can't buy that, right? Like, you've had to put work in, which means you're a disciplined person. Can do stuff when they don't want it. It says something about your personality, and that's why I think, like, for me, it's like an attractive trait. It's something that I would look in, for a female, because it says a lot about their personality, and if they can do those things, then that's gonna work in our favor in many other ways in a relationship anyway.
Yeah.
Well, I met my wife in the gym. I
Yeah,
tried to
there
sell her
you go.
personal training. She couldn't afford me, so she married me instead. It was a bad investment on her part because the wedding cost like 15 grand. So
Oh, yeah, yeah. No, good points though.
Yeah.
Very good points. Oh, there was something else I wanted to mention that's gone off my head when you was talking about like with the generation now, and I think what's happened is where there's so much information, people got so much choice as well. Like, obviously, yes, it is harder and stuff like that, but like, some people are actually rethinking it and going, you know what, I don't want to wait till retirement. I want to do stuff now. What if I don't make it to retirement?
Yeah.
And this and that. And I think with social media, there's so much comparison and there's so much opportunity. Like, in what world can you pick up your phone, make some content and make a shitload of money out of it, which it is something that can be done now. So people are taking different career paths, and it is just a very different way of life. It's very near enough whenever I talk to an old person, I end up meeting someone at like 15 and marrying them, and it's very rare these days, isn't it? Like, and I think it's
yeah,
because of just the way things are gone. Very different.
I think, yeah, people
yeah,
are just living a little bit more now. People are realizing, like you said, you don't have to wait to a certain age to do something. The opportunities are there, and people like, because I guess life expectancy now is a lot shorter than it was before. So people are kind of people want to jump on the opportunities quicker, that like sooner than later, if that makes sense. Like
I
I've seen
think
a lot of
people are
people.
retiring earlier
Yeah,
than they
yeah.
are
I
now,
see a
right?
lot
And
of
I know people. I think people are living longer, but people are retiring earlier. But you know what? I don't know. I might sound stupid, but I heard a crazy stat the other day, and I don't know if this is true. I should probably look it up, but like, I'm pretty sure the average age of death is almost before retirement now. And how does that make any
It's
sense?
it's not quite. So what's happening is, um, sorry, dog's getting involved. So our life expectancy, I think it's something like 85. Healthy life expectancy is coming
Right.
down. So most people are going to get to their early 60s and be dealing with some sort of chronic illness. So those last, and then the retirement age, it was 65, it's gone up to 67. By the time we retire, it's probably going to be closer to 70. So it's one of those things that you're only going to be living for 10 years. And in those 10 years, you're expected to be having some sort of chronic illness that you're going to be living with. So I think it's the healthy life
That's
expectancy that's coming
mental.
down.
So average UK man 79 and retirement's 67.
Yeah,
So that's fucking bonkers though. That's 12 years of life that you may get,
yeah.
and you're
If you
probably going
make
to
it
be a
there.
bit fucked. So,
Yeah,
you can understand why people are rethinking things a bit as well.
yeah,
I
100%.
think when you was talking about earlier about what keeps you going in terms of impression and stuff like that, I think for me that is one thing that is a big factor of it. I don't want to get old and not be able to move and all that
Yeah,
stuff. So that's
100%.
why I'm trying to kind of build a good foundation now, so that I'm able to be able to move and enjoy life a bit more when I'm older.
Yeah, mate, use it or lose it, right? And
Yeah, exactly.
that's why, like, I think this generation, like, you get so many people that choose not to drink now, don't you? And they're all like
Yeah.
smashing the gym and that, and that's gonna have a massive.
Well, there's a crazy stat. I think it's since it peaked. So when was COVID? 2020, 2021. So I
Yeah.
think in 2021 the alcohol industry like peaked in terms
Mm,
of like revenue. Since
mm,
then it's something like 850 million, or is it
yeah,
850 billion? I'll look it up in a second.
probably.
The whole
Yeah,
alcohol
probably
industry
billion,
has
mate. It's
lost
got to be.
like 850 billion of market
Yeah,
share
yeah,
because these next generations, basically, like all that propaganda we got fed when we were like teenagers, binge drinking's bad, like all that, which is, but it's actually worked now.
Yeah,
And these later generations are going, no, I don't want to do that. Like,
yeah.
just because I'm
They've
being
seen the
shown it's
product.
bad.
I think it was like mainstream for our parents, weren't it? I think 'cause most people,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's crazy. I think there was a stat as well. I can't remember what it was, but I think it was one club. It might even be a day in the UK. Because when I say week, it doesn't sound like enough, but it was like one club a day or one club a week was closing in the UK.
Yeah.
I think it was week, but it doesn't sound like that many. So maybe it was more. But yeah, it's bonkers. Maybe, right, let's finish with
To be
something
fair,
bodybuilding related.
I can understand why it's closing this. Have you seen the price of drinks lately?
Yeah, well, that's what I
Mate, it's
mean. That's why
ridiculous.
all the kids are doing cat.
Yeah, no wonder why, mate.
Yeah.
It
Like,
actually is.
it's so much cheaper than drinking now, mate. It's crazy.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just looked it up. Yeah, in the last 4 years, the alcohol industry lost 830 billion, largely thanks to
Wow.
Gen Z.
And how much has the gym revenue gone up? Have a look.
um,
It must have, surely. Because all the kids are banging gym now, mate.
Yeah, it's true.
They're like 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 getting jacked, man. That's the way to be.
so the fitness industry as a whole, in the last four
Mm.
years,
Surely it's come up.
see, 434 billion.
Mm.
It's gone up.
Because it
There's the same
declined.
thing.
That's from the low of 2020. So obviously it declined
Yeah, that's
in
COVID.
alcohol
COVID,
versus.
and it's now shot back up.
Yeah,
That's
not
Wow.
nuts.
surprised at all, mate. Not surprised at all.
Well, epic. Finishing on a positive.
No.
Should we wrap it up?
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
wrap it up. Kids,
Yeah.
don't drink. Go gym.
yeah. Go
So
gym.
if you're listening to this, which you probably ain't, and you're 14, 15, 16, spend all your money on protein, gym memberships, and
Creatine, and it's not drugs.
yeah, tell your mum that you are going to be all right. You're not going to die or fail your kidneys. But yeah, guys, thank you. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Um, if you did like the episode and want to find out a bit more about each of us and our backgrounds, then have a look at the page and check back. We've all done videos just talking about ourselves a little bit more. But other than that, guys, thank you again. See you on the next one.
See you next week.
That's fine.
Cheers, lads.